Hello guys, today we're going to be doing a video on Red Dead Redemption 2 using the Steam Deck. We're going to be playing the game at native resolution of 800p and we're going to be starting it off on the lowest preset. And as always, if you like what you see, a sub to the channel would be highly appreciated as well. Alright, let's get going. We're going to be hanging around the city area. I'm going to leave the city and then come back. Since the city areas are very intensive most of the time, and then once you leave the city, again becomes way easier to run. So we're going to see how it runs outside of the cities and how it runs in the cities. So far it's running pretty great, sitting 45 to 40 FPS outside the city. But when I was playing without recording, the game was stuttering in the cities, so I'm gonna do a run back around. Come back to the city real quick, and as you can see, our frame time graph is very jumpy now. You see those huge spikes? The game is definitely stuttering at that point. It's very choppy, even though our frame rate is above 30. Now I had to enable VSync, because in Rockstar games when you disable VSync, it sometimes causes FPS issues and stutteriness, so I enabled it, and it's still stuttering here anyway. Alright, playing on balanced settings or normal settings, I guess. I guess you could call medium settings. Getting very similar performance to low settings. We're still in the 40s, the mid to low 40s. I don't like how the frame time graph looks, to be honest, but I'm pretty sure I know how to fix it, and I will show that at the end of the video. I'll do my optimal settings, which I'm going to place at low to medium settings, and I'm gonna cap our FPS for sure, obviously, to 30 or 40. And I think that will definitely fix the performance issues that we're having right now. Because the frame time graph is very jumpy and it stutters here and there, even though it's not as bad outside. But FPS, normally it's in the high 40s, like very easily. On medium settings as well. The game looks fantastic. Might try FSR out if the game lets me drop the resolution down far enough. If it doesn't, then I guess I'll just skip it. Let's run back to the city again one more time. Yeah, the performance is still the same. We're not even in the city yet and we're still getting stutters. Now with GTA 5, playing at ultra settings, the FPS was pretty atrocious. We were sitting in the 30s and then to the low 20s. And this game is way newer, so I feel like this is going to perform far worse. But it hasn't yet, so. Alright, running to the city now. This is the most intensive area. A lot of AI, a lot of buildings. It wasn't as bad as before, like the first run on low settings, but it definitely is still stuttering. Alright, let's go on high settings. Playing at the high preset, FPS is a little bit lower, but it's not as much of a decrease as I was expecting. We're still in the 30s, in the city as well. Once we leave, we should probably jump back up to mid 40s. I mean, we shouldn't, but that's what I'm expecting to happen. Let's see. The frame time graph is just atrocious, honestly. It's so unstable. You will stutter here and there for sure. Like every couple of seconds, it will happen once you leave the city. There we go. We're in the mid 40s again at high preset. Performance is still very similar to medium and low settings, but looking at our power draw, we're pulling 27 watts almost. Yeah, 27 watts. So that gives us an hour to an hour and a half of battery life, which obviously isn't good if you're going to be playing this portably. You definitely want to cap your FPS to 30 and bring your settings down a little bit so your GPU isn't working as hard. Alright, we are maxed out now. We're playing at the ultra preset. At this point, I don't think this is going to run at a smooth 30 FPS anymore, but surprisingly we are holding 30 in the city somehow. But I wouldn't be surprised if we do fall into the 20s at this point. Alright, leaving the city, we are in the mid 30s, that's good. Almost at the 40s, very close to it. We're back to this train track again and see. On high and medium we were getting 50 FPS on the bridge. So let's get back on it. And we're getting 40, so we lost 10 FPS. From medium and high to ultra. Alright, now we're not done yet. I want to actually go ahead and test out the optimal settings. I want to cap the FPS to 30 and 40. See if that fixes our issue with the frame time graph. So let's go ahead and do that now. Alright, for our optimal settings, I'm going to go ahead and put us down in between low and medium. Put our texture quality onto medium, and we don't need SSR or screen space ambient occlusion, actually, not SSR. Reflections I want to put on medium. FXAA, we might as well turn it on. Alright, let's go ahead and put our refresh rate down to 40 Hz, which will cap our FPS to 40. And would you look at that? Frame time graph is so smooth. There's no jumpiness to it, but we are standing still. So let's get going. Okay, there we go. As soon as we turn, we got to start there still. So issue isn't fully fixed, but it is much better right now. Okay, we're still getting stutters. Might have to go down to 30 Hz or 60 Hz and 30 FPS. Yeah, we do get stutters here and there, but it does feel way better. Way smoother. And power draw is going to drop down as well, since we're playing on the lowest setting and FPS is capped, so it doesn't have to be working as hard. Let's go through the city at 40 Hz. Okay, the stutteriness is back. But I think that's because we can't hold 40 FPS in the city. That's got to be the reason. Yeah, the issue comes back right around once we jump into the city. Once we go through the city, I guess. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and drop our settings down to 60 Hz and 30 FPS cap. There we go. Look at that. Now it's super smooth. Let's see if it stutters once we go through this little road. Look at that. Not even a single stutter. That's amazing. Okay, I'm glad the fix worked. Let's see, our power draw is dropping down even more. We were doing 25 watts before, so now we're pulling 19 watts. Alright, I took a look at the settings and decided to not turn on FSR since our lowest resolution was like 720p, I think, so not really worth using FSR. So yeah, there's not much for us to do now, so I'm gonna wrap up the video here, guys. Hope you enjoyed it and found it useful. If you did, give it a like, and subscribe to the channel, I'd appreciate it. See you next time.